Good morning, the Old Fisherman, back with you again. Lake Monticello. I'm gonna try to catch some more of these white perch. Just started here this morning, so I don't know what to expect. See if they're here. We're in about 43 foot of water starting here. I think I see a few fish, but who knows? Never know with these jokers. 43 foot. We're gonna do the old Carolina circle swing and see what happens here. See if one will bite it. See if we can get them stirred up. Hopefully. Get one stirred up, one bite it. That's what it takes. Sometimes them jokers laying down there not biting, and I don't think they're biting as good. I tried another video a while ago. They're not biting as good as they were yesterday either yet. They might pick up before the day's over. Kind of slow, but hey, we're gonna try it. See what happens. We're fishing with the spoon and the 2 jigs again, just like yesterday. And see if we can get something stirred up. I'm gonna beat on the boat again, see if we can draw something in here, get them riled up. When they'll bite. You never know these jokers, when they gonna bite or not. There was a bite. There was a bite. Get it down here and catch one now. Hey, oh, doesn't hit it. Nothing, so there's a couple of them biting it. Get them to take it. Get them to take it. Hey, another bump. They're bumping it. It must be little ones. Must not be the big ones. Probably small ones. Probably small ones. Hey, some around there, they just ain't hitting right. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. See if we can get another stirred up on it. They swim around down there and collect another one or two. That might be 2 right there. Yeah, there's a second one. At least 2. I think. Never know though. I think that's 2. Might be 3. Who knows? Take your time, pull it up, collect as many as you can. I think that might be 3. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 3 at a time. 3 at a time again. Look at that. Look at that, people. 3 at a time again. Lake Monticello. I'll tell you what. That's a good way to start, ain't it? 3 nice ones too. 3 nice ones too. 3 nice ones. Come on here, boy. 3 nice ones. Boy, you got to love it. I'm telling you, you got to love it. The Old Fisherman back at it again. I know y'all getting tired of me catching perch. I really need to do something else. Show you how to catch something else. But it's hard to leave these perch biting, I tell you. I could leave them and probably go catch some catfish or maybe some more crappies. But Lord have mercy. It's hard to go back to crappie fishing after you catch a perch like this. I'd like to try the shell crackers. I can't do everything. My goodness. I'd love to. I believe I could catch any of them. I believe I could go catfishing and catch them. I believe I could go shell crackers and catch them. And I believe I could go back and struggle with them crappies and catch a few more of them. But, you know, if you want action, you better stick with these perch and catfish action if you get in them right. With them night crawlers. It's kind of a nastier type fishing with the worms. But these white perch is hard to beat for as action, let me tell you. You can catch more than 1 fish at a time, that's hard to beat. I don't care what kind of fish you fish for. Hard to beat, and I'm telling you, there's some down there, but they ain't biting like they were yesterday. Seems like I'm seeing them, but they ain't taking it. So they're not in a real feed. Now, when you get one on there, if you hold it around down there, you can catch a couple more. Getting that first one on is the problem. That's the problem. There's fish down there. But there again, you got to stir them up with that net. Beating that daggone boat, I believe that makes them get stirred up too. So, I caught them 3 and boom. I see them, but they ain't biting. See if they stir them off the bottom, see if they get excited again. It was biting. bite. They're not taking it. They down there. They just not taking it. I think he's done flipped the spoon. The spoon don't feel right there. Something's wrong. Done flipped the spoon over. What's happening? Flip the spoon. See that? When they do that, it's hard to catch them, even on the jig. Hard to catch them. I might go in there and try to crab this in a minute, just for the heck of it, just to see. But it's gonna be hard to do. It's be hard to leave these perch. Because up into the day when the sun gets a little bit higher, when it seems to bite the best. In the morning, by 10 o'clock, they'll get up. There's one. There's one. There's one. Let's see if we catch two. See if we catch two. That's nothing, I think. That's the second one. There's the second one. Let me get the third one. There's the third one, I believe. Yeah, there's the third one. There's the third one. There's the third one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. 3 at a time. 3 at a time. Monticello white perch. That's what you got to do, people, to catch 3 at a time. You just got to hold it down there and let them swim around. That's the key. Boy, and I'll tell you, after you get that first one, the next one's a usually bigger one. Yep. The next ones are normally bigger fish. Attack the jig. When the other ones swim around, it gives a different motion. You know, I talked about the direction change. Well, when a fish is running with hooked on a spoon or a jig, and you got the other spoon and jig dangling, he's going in different directions. So you're whipping that jig and spoon back and forth. That's why it's so deadly when you fish with several different jigs at one time. Once you get one on, hey, the fish that's on is making the other jigs really attractive at that point. So all you got to do then is just hold it. You get that first one on, you just hold it, and you can get the second one. If it's a school of fish that's feeding. If it's just one fish down there and you catch one fish, it won't do no more. But if you catching perch and they normally in a school, and he's running around with that jig dangling, it would probably work the same way with a school of crappies. When you hook one, if you had several different jigs on, and just let it sit down there while you're swimming around. If you can get crappies that's not around brush, because he get hooked and hung in the brush with other jigs. But out in open water, you fishing with several different jigs, and these bass, when they start biting on postbone bass fishing, out here in this lake, on these humps, you do the same thing with bass. The only problem is, and I done been in this situation several times, they break your lines. You start getting 2 and 3 to 5 pound bass on at a time, then you got a problem. If you got 10 pounds there of line, I mean, H ain't even got a chance. That's what I'm fishing with between them now. I got into these bass out here one year just like this, only I was using a gup shrimp. And I could not keep them. In fact, I caught 3 bass at a time, weighed 3.5, 4 pounds a piece one time. But it's hard to do because they will. You get 2 bass going different directions that size, they'll break the line. I went to a heavier line, I think it was 17 pound test P line. They won't break that line, but the problem is, then they won't bite it. They can see the line or something, couldn't get them to bite it. So you get over about a 14 pound test line, they won't bite it. So let me tell you, that line size means the difference, even when you catching them like this. But they sure did. They quit biting it when I went to the heavier line. And I got sick and tired of coming up with, I had 3 plugs on it, come up with 1 plug, 1 bass on one, and the other 2 broke off. And that's what happened. Then you got to sit there and tie. But I haven't tried braided line, but I think the braided line would be just like that heavy P line. they'd see it, they wouldn't bite it. So, but I hadn't been in that situation but 1 year. 1 year I got in them like that. It was unbelievable. The size bass I was catching on this rig. Oh, I was hooking because they was breaking off. But I caught a good many of them like that. That was some fun. The old fisherman, he's going to experiment with things, let me tell you. That's the key. I experiment. I think about things during the night. I got my mind wondering what can I do to find a new way to fish. And I'll sit in the bed, lay in the bed, sometimes thinking about doing things. And I've caught them using these plugs with a regular old fluke. That you use a bass fluke or any kind of swim bait. That'll work too on these bass and perch. With a small swim bait, well, a size bigger than what I'm using here. That's what I'm using. Here's a swim bait, basically, but a bass swim bait, not a crappie swim bait. And you can go to that and catch a lot of bigger fish, and the bass will eat it up too. But there again, you get 2 and 3 jigs on it one time, you might end up breaking several off with you. Because the bass, they run in post-spawn, they in schools just like these perch. They in groups. I don't know if y'all notice or not, when I get to talking, and I've said this before, I get off fishing. That's why it's important to have somebody running the boat that's focusing on where they at, what they doing, and how they fishing. And that's one reason I don't like to fish with people, because we get in the boat, we talking to each other, and ain't neither one of us focusing. You see people going down the banks casting, talking, they ain't catching no fish because they're not in the game. Their mind is not in the game. Their mind is talking to somebody else about something, whatever. And let me tell you, if you don't focus, when I used to play baseball, I get in a hitting slump. And it didn't take me long to figure out why I was in a hitting slump. Hey, wasn't focusing. I got to going up to the plate, getting ready to bat. And I learned if I started repeating things in my mind over and over, watch the ball. Keep your eyes on the ball. Focus on the ball. Don't focus around the ball. Focus on that ball. And when you swing, if you focus and you talking yourself into it, you can hit the ball. If you don't really focus and really talk to yourself about focusing as he's pitching the ball, guess what? You ain't gonna hit the ball. So 90% of a slump, they call it, battles on a slump. Ain't a thing, but he ain't focusing. That's all it is. He ain't focusing. I see it with these fish all the time. I get to talking to the camera, I'm not focusing, and I quit catching fish. You got to focus, people. And guess what? I must just focus, because there's an old catfish. There's an old catfish, I think, that hit this thing. And he's a nice one. Hey, he's a eating size, I tell you that. He creamed it too. He creamed it. And I started focusing. Same way I used to pitch. You got to focus on that mitt, on throwing that doggone ball to the mitt, not around it. Same way with deer hunting. Look at here. Look at here, people. I don't know if I can pick that catfish up, so I better dip it. But I got a perch and a catfish here. On him. He's probably a couple pounds. I don't know if I can take a chance. Breaking my line, or my rod. But people, if you don't focus, you won't succeed in anything. Really, really important to focus. No matter what you're doing, you got to focus. You're making money, you better focus on what's going on. You You got a job, but focus on what's going on, or you won't be successful. You won't be as good as you could be. You might be successful, but you won't be as good as it could be. Now these catfish, they get a treble hook in their mouth. Let me tell you, it's like going to the dentist, and I'm the dentist. Can't get it out. But there's old baby blue. The old fisherman got it. Look at that baby blue. Look at that. Old baby blue. I'll tell you one thing, them blue fillet catfish is good eating. Any kind of catfish out of this lake is good eating. Especially fillet. Unless he's little, then you want him on the bone. But I hope you listen to me what I say about focus. I don't care what you're doing. If you're not doing a good job at it, then guess what? You probably ain't focused. You probably, hey, think about it. In school, you don't focus on the class, guess what? You make bad grades. If you ain't what I call, if your head ain't in the game, you ain't gonna be good at nothing. And that separates the people that's really good at something and the people that's not so good at something. It ain't that one's got probably better talent. It's all about the mind. It's all about focusing and being in control of your thoughts. If you're in control of your thoughts, you will be successful. And if you experiment with your thoughts, you will be successful. If you want to make money, you focus on making money, you probably make money. I'm just telling you. That's the truth. It's giving it that 100%. And that's all about focus. When I was in charge of, and all my life I've been in charge of running jobs electrically. I wired all these schools. Listen, your mind has got to be totally focused on everything that's going on. You can't rely on somebody else. If you in charge, you the man's got to be, you the man when something goes wrong that's going to be to blame. Just like a coach on a football team. Hey, the team ain't no good, guess who they blame? The coach. So it's that coach, and a good coach can make a team focus. That's what makes a good coach. It's teaching a team and making them believe in themselves, and making them believe means they focus on what's going on. Remember that. The old fisherman told you that. You doing something and your mind ain't in it, hey, change it. Put your mind in it. And then you write me back and tell old fisherman, you know, you were right. I started focusing on how to do something, and all of a sudden I become successful. It's just like in these videos. If I was focused a little bit more, I might become more successful. But hey, that's the only bad thing about getting older. You don't seem to want to maybe do it work quite as hard as it might take. So that's why we out here just enjoying ourselves and doing this for nothing. You got to focus. I'm telling you. Mind control again. And focusing is the most important thing in life. You got a bad personality, you don't think you can talk to somebody, start focusing on it. Loosen up. Next thing you know, your personality doesn't change. You're a different person. And let me tell you, you got to have a good personality to have anything in life. Personality is important. Focusing, personality, and a will to succeed. That's that mind again. You got to have the will to succeed. When it comes to fishing, I got a will to succeed. If I'd be 20 years old again, I'd be fishing in the FLW if I had some money. I would have been doing that back when it first started with a BASS come in, all them guys. Listen, back when I was a young guy, I was a bass catching machine. I can tell you, if I would have focused on doing that, I probably would have been famous. But I didn't. I went to work, focused on wiring high rises in schools for 28 years. And I wired houses for 10 years for myself, by myself, my youngest helping my wife. So I kind of like the solo thing, doing it on my own. When I was in charge of jobs, I wasn't one of them that sat in the trailer and told somebody else to do the work. I was right there in the ditch. I had to have my hands on it. I had to make sure, my name on being boss man, I had to make sure that everything was right. I couldn't have any question marks in my head that something wasn't put in right. I had to make sure, I had to be there, be involved in it, and make sure that it was right. I could take 3 guys and wire school, where some companies take 10, 15, 20, and then overtime to wire school. But it's all about hard work and focusing and doing it right. And being on top of the game. Being in the game and on top of the game. Right now I'm talking too much that I ain't even in the game with the fish. So that focus again, every time I go to talking, I lose my focus. You got to be able to wipe everything out in your mind and focus. If you're fishing, you're focusing on what that jig is doing on the bottom. If you ain't thinking about, and you're not right there in your mind with that little jig swimming along the bottom, you're not focusing. You're just out here participating. You're not focused. And you're not going to catch a lot of it. And you can see it. It's obvious. Now, watch this. Now, I'm going to try to focus a little bit. Now, it might not happen. But I'm going to pull up here, and I'm going to focus on where I'm at, what I'm doing, and I'm going to get on the point of this ridge here. I think what we've done, we done pulled across this ridge too much. So I'm going to pull it back up here on the hump of this ridge. We're at 50 foot. We're going on up now. We're going up the hill. We're going up the hill of this point that runs out in here. You can visualize deep water all around. And if you're sitting on a hill and you're going down to a valley, and a knoll going down to a valley, that's what this is that I'm catching these fish on. It's a knoll going down to a valley, and we getting on the end of that knoll. When I get up in there, I'm at 46. See, I was out there at 55, not focusing. I done pushed off halfway, just off the edge of the valley. Now, I'm moving back up on the top of this valley. And guess what? We're at 45 foot. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to beat on the boat. If there's any fish out there, they're going to stir up now. And I'm beating on the boat. All right? That ought to be all it takes. Now, we're going to drop this jig down. We're going to see what focusing will do. And show you how close it is being focused and not focused. Okay, now we focused. I'm dropping it down. I'm on the point of this ridge, 45 foot. And I don't think it takes being off the end of the ridge. I think it takes us being up on the ridge. And then we let it to the bottom. Okay? Now, we're going to take this rod and we're going to kind of ease it around here in a circle and come around a swing on top of this ridge. And we're going to focus on catching a fish. And look at that. What I tell you, you see what I'm talking about? You see what focusing will do? That's the difference, people, between catching fish and not catching fish. If you don't focus, you can't catch them. If you out here running your mouth to a buddy in the boat and you don't know what you're doing, you just la-laing around, you won't catch fish. You might catch a few, but you ain't going to be a real fisherman. I just went to focusing, and I proved to you right there what focusing will do. And that's 2. monticello, slab perches. People, you better listen to the old fisherman. In life and in fishing, you got to focus. You got to focus. Do 100%. Whatever you're going to do, put 100% in it and focus. And 100% means you got your mind in the game and you're trying to figure out a better way. Anytime you do something, there's always a better way. So you experiment. You focus, you experiment, and you will become successful in life and in fishing no matter what you do. Baseball, football, coaching, you got to focus. I would make one heck of a coach because I'd have my team focused. Let me tell you. See that? See what focusing will do? I'm telling you, the old fisherman knows what he's talking about. I've been around too long. And it's a fine line, people, between fishing and focusing fishing. Anybody can fish, not anybody can focus and fish. All your good fishermen that's in the bass tournaments, that's winning all your tournaments, the difference is they focusing. Everybody kind of knows how to do it, but it's that elite few that can really do it. They the ones got the mind control and able to focus on what they doing. The old fisherman is teaching you something very valuable. And see, focusing. See that? See what I'm talking about? That's the game. That's the name of the game. And look at that. We caught some more. Monticello, white perch, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we ain't got 3 of them because it's pulling my arm off. Huh? I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we ain't got 3. Look at this. Huh? Look at this. What I tell you? Huh? What I tell you? What is that? 3 white perch at one time, simply because I was able to go from non-focusing to focusing. Non-focusing fishing to focusing fishing. The difference between good and not so good, people. Remember that. And the old fisherman is going to let you go with that one. And we're going to start another video because this one's getting long. I've done a lot of talking. But remember what I just said. You focus in life, you become successful in life. You focus in fishing, you become successful in fishing. Do what the old fisherman says, and you will be successful. See ya.